If you are fighting so hard right now to hold things together, today we're talking about what's happening and what's possible when you finally stop. You're not losing yourself all at once. It's happening slowly. One anxious thought, one effortful conversation, one quieter version of you at a time. Today I'm going to show you something about how your mind is actually working right now and why the fact that you're tired doesn't mean you're failing. It means you've been living inside some very convincing thinking for a very long time. My name's Wendy. I'm a relationship coach, and I help people to find their way back to clarity in moments exactly like the one you're in. It's what I do every day. So let's dive in. The hardest part of where you are right now isn't the fear of losing them. It's noticing how much of yourself is going quiet while you're trying so hard to make it work. If that's landing somewhere, stay with me, because what I'm about to share might be exactly what you need to hear right now. I don't think you're here because you gave up too easily. You're here because you're trying. You're really trying. You're the one keeping the conversations going. You're the one bringing it up again, even when it doesn't go well. You're adjusting, you're softening, you're apologizing first. You're choosing your words carefully. And through all of that, you're calling it love. I want to gently offer you something a little different today. All that effort, all that trying you're doing right now, it's not really about the relationship. It's about thought. Thought doing exactly what thought does. Creating a feeling so convincing, so important, so immediate that it looks like reality. The thought is saying, if I let go, it all falls apart. And if it all falls apart, that means I'm a failure. And thought is bringing that idea to life, making it feel important, urgent, making it feel true. So you hold on tighter, you work harder, you tell yourself, this is just what love looks like. But I want to ask you something right now. When did the thinking about saving the relationship get louder than your own quiet wisdom underneath? Here's what I keep coming back to in my own life and in the lives of the people that I work with. Most of the time, we're not fighting for the relationship. We're fighting because of how that thinking feels. And it feels real, completely real. But our feelings come from the thinking we're having in the moment, not the truth about our thoughts. The fear of being alone, the fear of failing, the fear of what it means about you if this doesn't work out. That fear feels real right now. I know. And it feels like love, but it's thought doing what thought always does, creating a full, felt experience of whatever it's pointing at. And that's not a flaw in you. That's how the mind works. And the moment you begin to see that and deepen your understanding of how we create our human experience, even just a little bit, the weight of it starts to shift. I want you to picture something. You're in a tug of war right now. You're on one end of the rope, and on the other end of the rope is the relationship, or the version of it you believe is possible. You're pulling with everything you have, white-knuckled, feet dug in, your back is aching, and you keep telling yourself, just a little more, pull harder, don't let go, because if I let go, I lose. But here's what nobody's telling you about this tug of war. The rope only stays tight because you're holding it. The tension you're feeling right now, the constant pull, that's not the relationship. That's thought, held in place by your grip on it. Every time your mind returns to try harder, don't let go, you feel the rope go taut again. What if this whole battle is thought created? What if the moment you put the rope down isn't the moment you lose? What if it's the moment the thinking quiets just enough for you to feel what's always been underneath it? Letting go of the rope is not the same as losing. The moment you stop pulling, something changes. Not because the other person changes, not because your situation changes, but because thought, when it's no longer being fed, has a natural tendency to settle. And underneath settled thinking, there is something that was never disturbed in the first place. A steadiness, a quiet knowing, something that doesn't need the rope to feel okay. That exhaustion you're feeling right now, it's not proof that you're not trying harder. It's the natural result of living inside high octane thinking and doing it on a loop. Now, dropping the rope doesn't mean that you stop loving. It means you stop letting fear-shaped thinking speak louder than the wisdom that's always there. And those are two very different things. So why are you holding the rope in the first place? Because at some point, a thought arrived, maybe a long time ago, decades ago, a thought that felt completely true then and feels completely true right now. Maybe it's love is something you earn. Connection has to be maintained. If you're not working for it, you're probably losing it. Some thought that's not reality. It's a thought, a very old, very well-practiced thought, but thought all the same. And here's the thing about how the mind works that I keep coming back to. Mind is the energy behind all of life. Consciousness is what makes experience possible. And thought is the creative power, the thing that brings everything you experience to life. Right now, you're living in the feeling of your thinking. And so am I. Not in your circumstances, not in what they said or didn't say, in your thinking about it. And when that thinking goes unquestioned, and it's not because you're weak, it's a misunderstanding. When that thinking goes unquestioned and it feels so real, it quietly runs your life. You're not broken. There's nothing to be fixed. You're not needy. You're a person with a very convincing thought and an extraordinary loyal heart. I want to tell you about a woman I worked with. She was in the same conversation with her partner over and over and over again. Not the exact same words, but the same loop. She'd bring something up, he'd shut her down, she'd try harder to explain, he'd pull further away. And every night she would just lay awake thinking, what did I do wrong? What could I say differently? She was living inside a thought that said, there must be something I can do. If I find the right words, the right approach, the right moment, maybe it'll land differently. One day in a quiet moment, something occurred to her. She had an insight. It arrived when her thinking settled enough to let something through. And she saw she'd been trying to find peace at the end of the rope. And that peace is never going to be there. It can't be, because peace isn't a result that you pull toward. It's already present when you stop, when you slow down. So today, she slows down and she stops bringing the same anxious energy into every conversation she has with him, because she no longer needs to. Her urgency before was thought, And today she's noticing that and letting it pass. In the quiet that follows, the real quiet, she finds herself again. And it's not a new self. It's the one that's always been there, the steady, clear, whole self. Dropping the rope doesn't end the relationship. It ends your war with your own thinking. The day you stop fighting isn't the day love dies. It's the day your thinking settles enough for you to remember who you are underneath all of it. You're never going to pull hard enough to feel okay, because the feeling you're looking for isn't at the end of the rope. Safety, peace of mind, worth, love, the quiet knowing that you matter, these things don't live in outcomes. They live in you, in the part of you that thought can temporarily cover over, but can never touch. That's what this understanding keeps pointing to. It's not a technique. It's not a better way to manage yourself, but the simple truth that your well-being is innate. It's not something you find out there. It's something you return to every time your thinking clears. You're not giving up. You're coming home. I want to leave you with one question, and you don't have to answer it right now. What if there's nothing wrong with you, and there never was? Before we finish, there's something worth noticing about everything we just talked about. When people first encounter this understanding that they're living in the feeling of their thinking, not their circumstances, something often happens. They stop trying to fix themselves, stop trying to fix everyone around them, and to begin to see more clearly. Begin to notice when someone is fully present in a relationship and when their thinking has quietly taken them somewhere else. When someone is in a low mood, caught in a storm of anxious thought, and when they're coming from a clearer, more connected place. And that distinction matters more than most people realize, because the same person in two different states of mind is experiencing the exact same relationship in completely different ways. In the next video, I'll show you the moment someone's thinking quietly checks out of a relationship, what that actually looks like right now in real time, and why most people miss it until it's already shaped everything. If this is landing for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it right now, and I'll see you in the next video.